to another vlog. Today I'm in Patio Kelly's bar in Las Americas, Tenerife. But I'm not on my own, I'm with a special guest. Please meet the man himself, Tenerife Tez. I'll get you in. Are you in? Can you get in?
Am I in?
They're trying to focus on me, innit?
It needs to. Yeah.
There you go.
Hi folk, how are we today?
Right, so Tez, how long have you been over on the island this time?
Oh, God blimey, only arrived today.
Only today?
Yeah. And
Oh,
it's always eventful when I'm here. You know what it's like. In fact, it was eventful back home.
Oh wow.
Things didn't go well to start with, but nevertheless, we're in the sun. So,
And that's the main thing.
what's not to like?
Sunshine, blue skies, alcohol, chilling out.
Cheap alcohol.
Cheap alcohol, yeah.
Yeah.
We won't get controversial like the Matt Masters says, but
Yeah. Oh, and it's not a €1 or €150, it's a proper drink.
yes, it's not gut rot.
In actual fact, should I do that?
Can we do that advertisement sponsorship?
Yeah, why not? Why
You
not?
know? So Terry's got a Magnus, and I've got the old local brew, Dorada,
And it's still not €1.
and it's still at €1. It's not gut rot.
Did you know there's still a €1 pint around?
It's very rare though. Whereabouts is that?
It is. Oh, going to have to watch All Things Keith.
All things cheap. He found it, did he?
He's found the €1 pint bar,
Brilliant.
so they need to log into his channel. Is that okay?
I'm subscribed to him, so
So
yeah,
I'm not going to tell you which one to actually have a look at, but you'll find it.
I'll find it, yeah. Don't worry, there's a cheap beer.
Yeah.
You've got to find it, okay?
Yeah.
Because most of them went to €1.50 and things like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, €1.50, quite a lot of those around €2, and now we're starting to do it like €2, $2.50 or €3.50 after 6 o'clock.
Yeah, no, then that's to do like timing and I get your point, yeah.
It's getting a bit like doubling down, is it Temple Bar?
Yeah,
Guinness starts off reasonable and then it ends up extortionate as the
as if
night
you're back in Ireland, night.
as the night progresses.
Yeah. That's
There you go.
controversial about countries, by the way, okay? I was talking about the drink.
Yeah, it's well, there's going to be more than just Ireland, then, does it?
Oh, even Britain.
Yeah, even Britain.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
If you want a cheap drink back home, go to a Wetherspoons. It's £2.65 for a Colesville.
Did you know there are 6 different pricing structures for Wetherspoons?
Is there really?
Yeah. I met, when we were over here, I met one of the regional managers, and depending on the competition in the area, it depends on what pricing structure you get for the drinks and the food.
Yeah. Oh well.
So, you're going to do a Wetherspoons,
I'll chat with Jesse soon.
you're going to do a Wetherspoons, lives.
Yeah.
Might be an idea just to get the menus and such like, and the
Yeah.
beer ones, because they do have beer ones on there, and check
Compare.
them from place to place.
Compare. Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
can you find the cheapest Wetherspoons pint?
There you go. Obviously, Central London won't be the answer though, because their price is a bit different than outside.
Yeah, but there is going to be an area in central London which is like cheaper than one of the other
I
ones.
think a pint of Colesberg was £5 in Central London. That's
Well,
not bad. It's normally like £10 or something like that, depending on what pub you walk into in the central town. But obviously you go for the lunchtime like deals.
Yeah,
But you know, and as you've probably seen on mine and Jesse's collaboration on the Wetherspoon thing, we got the fish and chips and we got the drink with it. And I think that was like £11 something. That's not bad.
no,
Central
it's
London.
bearable. It's bearable.
You know. But another price thing that I can tell you guys is, funny enough, when I was on my walk with Tim this morning, it's like where I live, you pay one set of price. I can get a bus to a place called Brentwood in Essex,
Yeah.
just outside, but on a London bus, I won't go into terms and conditions, it's all, you know. But what I'm trying to say is the Wetherspoons in Brentwood, because it's in Essex and not in a London borough, it's cheaper because they're not paying such higher rates as the ones in London are. See what I mean? So
Are the buses exempt from all those? Not all those, you guys.
most of the buses are either,
Because they're not all electric, are they?
no, only about 80% of them are electric.
Yeah.
They still got the old ones left. I think they are exempt. you know. But most of them now are once they get rid of the old ones, they're bringing new ones in that are fully electric.
Good luck.
Oh. The ones around my way are fully electric, and it's like the braking system on it is like you don't get up from your seat until the bus is stopped, otherwise you're going and you're flying down bus, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But so yeah, so what are your plans on your trip while you're here, mate?
Oh, I should think we're going to have a little bit of night entertainment, meeting people, meeting subscribers even.
Yeah.
It always happens, and maybe the odd drink. Not a lot of drink though.
No.
Enjoy the sun.
Yeah.
But I've got a question for you.
Yeah, go on.
The YouTube. Why did you get into YouTube? What are your end goals?
That's a very good question, guys. Right,
That's
so
double whammy.
There's a double whammy of a question there. So, for myself, basically, obviously, I was watching people like the Strider, Matt Master, and then obviously, as he introduced more people, like he introduced Tim, he introduced the Correct Master. Obviously, there's other people follow to do my transport side at home, like Jeff Marshall and people like that. 'Cause they deal with like the trains and stuff like that. And I just thought, well, I like all this what they're showing me, and I like it myself anyway. So I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. So I went to, big shout out to Cold Space, by the way, and all that. Just missed you by 3 days. I won't just try that in there, you know. But no, one of his lives, I went to his channel, and obviously I didn't want to just go rushing into it. I already had a channel set up about 3 or 4 years ago, but I didn't do nothing with it, so I wasn't too sure at the time.
Okay.
So it was only about 1.5 years ago that I thought, well, as Colin said to me, you've finally got a phone and a charger for your phone. Let's start off with. That's all you need.
All you need. Yeah.
And he said, just go out, because that's when I come to Tenerife last year.
Yeah.
And he said, just film away. And he said, obviously edit it, and then, you know. But obviously later on, as I found out from him, because obviously I was trying to get technical, asking him technical questions about, oh well, I want to edit it like this and like that, and he said to me joking, he said, mate, he said, what you do is what you want to do, but for me, I'll just edit it on my iPhone and then that's it. He goes, I don't do all this technical, you know, palaver sort of thing, you know. But obviously I've got to grips and, you know, started doing more and more and more. Henceforth, obviously that's why I then asked Timothy Dowd about his MacBook.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's where he uses to do his editing, I believe, and everything else. So I thought, okay then, so I invested in a MacBook Pro and all that. I know he said, oh, you don't need it that powerful, but I thought it's guaranteed for at least a decade before they don't have no more updates or components for it, you know what I mean?
That's
So,
right.
considering what they cost, it's like, you know, it's financially sound.
The best of the time.
Yeah. So like, and here I am just about getting to grips with the MacBook still, but I'm learning as I go along whilst editing.
So I mean, I do it with a MacBook with Final Cut Pro.
Yeah.
What editing suite do you use?
Well, I've got obviously iMovie on now, so I use that.
Yeah.
But I did obviously pay outright for the one that you use, the Final Cut Pro.
Yeah.
And I'm mucking about with it, and obviously I put a kind of like teasers out on my channel to get people to actually see what they think before I move on, because obviously I want to make sure that I'm in tone with the viewers and the subscribers that I have.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean, because I know that some of them on there will actually say to me, perhaps it's a bit wrong, perhaps try this, perhaps try that, and it's like, I try to take on board everyone, like, you know, like yourself, like Tim, you know, what to do, and then obviously like anyone would you appreciate it. You take that information and then you tweak it to your own, and then you.
Well, it's personal.
Yeah. So you know, so I've got it here on Sunday. I've not forgot. I've still got to do my travel day vlog. But seriously, it's like a 4-hour thing. I've got to condense down to make it worthwhile for people watching. But don't worry, guys, I've not forgot. And big shout out to Julie and Dave, because I know you'll watch this as well. Dave, I am vlogging, as you can tell, okay? The big joke was I was down the Goose the other day, alright, having the breakfast and a beer. And lucky though, I've done like a little short from YouTube, like a 3-minute short.
Yeah.
You know, just to keep people updated and, you know. And I know Dave was only mucking about for living the dream, and he said to me, "Wait, come, what are you doing, mate? Get out of there, get vlogging." It's like, but I have, you know, I've got my beer, got the sunshine, I'm talking to you guys, you know. But no, as I say, you know, I thought, chill out a little bit, you know, after travelling, don't want to go rushing around, you know, got plenty of time. And yeah, basically.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow. You have to. When you, otherwise, it's not a holiday if you don't go with the flow.
Yeah. I think people use or do YouTube for different reasons.
Yeah.
I do it as a hobby.
Yeah.
Something to do. Okay, it pays a bit of money and I'll not condemn myself for that because it actually supports the channel. I think there are people who want to make YouTube their job.
Yeah.
How do you perceive that?
I mean, for me, like yourself, mine's just more like a hobby at the moment.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've not got to the stage where I'm financially taking it on. Because I mean, just today, and again, big thanks to you, Tim, as well. I was on 277 before Tim's live with me.
Yeah.
And when I come back to my hotel and I saw myself out, I just having to check the stats.
Yeah.
And I gained another plus.
That's good.
You know what I mean? So yeah,
So that's just with a collaboration.
with one of the big guys on the island, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I mean, even if I start earning, I probably might use it like for a pension pot, you know, build it up. Because obviously I want to retire when I'm 60. I mean, I'm 47 now, so you know what I mean.
I'm
you're blue age. We'll just go with 35, okay? but yeah, no, but I mean, yeah, if I earn out of it, happy days. And you know, I'm not. I know some people, like you say, out there because they've got to do it. They've got to do it for the money. But no, you know, as Tim has said, quite a lot of people on the first day, well, you'll probably say the same. You've got to enjoy it to do it. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to get nowhere with it.
It's time to back it up.
Yeah, you've got time to back it up. You've got to upload it, you know. And then obviously when I'm back home, obviously then I'm juggling obviously daily routine of work, spending time with my kids, my missus. So you've got to find time for that as well. So, you know, but no, I mean, the vlogging side of it, you know, and the editing side, yeah, I enjoy it. And that's the main thing.
Melting it here.
29 degrees, guys, at the moment.
Yeah. I think the thing is, you know, a lot of people just want to think, well, I want to make a living out of this, but it can take over your life.
Yeah, you never do that.
That's the problem. You know, it's like, okay, I haven't got that many views today, I need to do something more and something more. Then all of a sudden, like, you haven't got a life.
Yeah, because your whole life is just on camera.
It's just on camera.
Yeah.
Well, equally so, I find that like just going out there doing camera and what have you is only half the story because the time consuming is the editing.
Of course. And then, for example, if you've got like an hour-long video, just example, you know for a fact that not everyone's going to want to sit down and watch a solid hour. So then you've got to then trim it, cut it, just so you've got that audience attention that they're going to want more and want more to watch it. Because if you just get bolting out hour-long videos, people are going to go, oh, do you know what, this guy's probably boring, they're not going to do it anymore. You know what I mean?
Then you get the retention rate, and our video might only the retention rate might be, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you've wasted your time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also find, okay, I do a lot of videos which are repetitive. Different times of the day though, and there is a reason for that, because you know, what's it like at 6 o'clock, what's it like at 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Well, unless you've actually filmed it, you don't know.
No, that's it. I mean, but what I do now is obviously, good, like you said about spending time elsewhere outside of doing the vlogging, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said to the missus when I'm at home, if it's one of my 2 days off, because obviously my 2 days off for a week, not a weekend, because obviously my job's been time, you know. So probably like once every 2 or 3 weeks, sometimes once a month maybe. Because obviously my children are in high school now, so that's one less thing to, you know, as I say to you off camera. So for me now, it's called, if I'm going to go uptown, like central London uptown, I literally can set off early enough, literally just spend the whole day, come back at tea time, and then if I do reasonable amount of size videos, I've literally got enough there to see me through probably that 2 or 3 weeks or maybe a month.
Yes.
Before then going to do it again. One, it saves on paying out on tube fare, and your time, and then that way then you're breaking it up. So like as Malfra said, oh, you've been vlogging, so she knows that. I mean, I must admit to begin with, because it was all new to me, so oh yeah, I better edit that now. But as she said, well, no, you've done your vlogging, and she was right. Spent, chill out with the children and all that, because you're back at work, blah blah blah. So okay, fair enough. I hear what she says, she's making sense to me, So what I do now is say on the first Monday of that month, I'll do that whole day thing. Might get 8-10 videos out of it pending, sort of thing. And then obviously the second day, I won't touch it. I'll leave it, because obviously spending time with family, like you respect, you would do. And then probably the following week, on my first and my second day off, I would then start doing little bits of vlogging, editing to get it up there. And then as I do, if I'm lucky enough to get even half of it done that week, I'll do the other half the following week. And then because I'm doing, as Jessie taught me to do, if you can, if you've got the time to as well, guys, is if you put it in blocks and then schedule it, so then YouTube releases it on a certain day.
Yeah.
And so, following his advice, your advice, Tim's advice, I'm trying to equal balance, I suppose is what the word is, like,
See, that's something else, because like when you look into the analytics, you can see the time that people actually watch the videos, which is the peak time that they really need releasing.
Yeah.
One of the questions I would ask you is, you do all this I'll call it transport type stuff with buses, trains, stuff. Have you ever thought about venturing further away from just London? I'll give you an example. Near where I live in the UK, we've got the last remaining working, what do you call it, roundhouse, turntable?
Oh, for the steam.
Yeah, fully steam, which is at Barrow Hill, near Chesterfield. And they have open days with the steam engines and stuff like that. We also have the National Tramway Museum, and they have all the trams.
I think I've seen that, yeah.
Would it be I'm just throwing this out. Would it be an idea to coordinate that sort of time so you can do both of those in possibly one day?
I mean, yeah, I probably could. Probably stay at a travel lodge or a Premier Inn or something like that, overnight.
And it's something, I don't believe it's been done before.
Right, okay.
So it's something which is new, which is going to be interesting
and attract people to watch, yeah.
I'd have thought.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as you appreciate, I mostly stay around like London and obviously parts of Essex, because obviously of time structure and everything else. Obviously that idea, I'm not saying it's a bad idea, I'm saying that I'll take it on board, and then obviously I'd have to work out when my holiday is, because then I'd have to do it when I've got a week off from work. To travel up there, obviously relax, do it say day 2, and then day 3, then I'll travel home sort of thing, you know what I mean? And then obviously, because it's obviously the long journey on the train, I could plug it into the USB-C thing in the train seat window thing, like, I mean, and just edit it on the train on the way home on the laptop. But yeah, no, that's a good point, Ted. I'll bear that in mind and see what I could do.
But on the open day, it's not just the working that you're going to see of the roundhouse. It's going to be the, I call it cabin, if you like, of the steam engines.
See, there's a close one I want to do, because obviously I took my boy to it, obviously off camera, but I want to do it again. They're closed for now. It was obviously originally a part of the Underground line, the Epinonga Railway. Obviously, statistics said that not enough people were using it. When they upgraded the line with new trains and everything else, they claimed that they couldn't run it that far up and all that. So unfortunately, between Epping and Ongar, they closed it down for normal traffic, as they call it. But then a private company took it over and opened it up like a working railway museum. And just at the end of Epping Station, I think it's on one of my vlogs about Epping. At the end, basically, you can see it. If you're sitting on the, I know it sounds crazy, but on the tube train above ground, because obviously Epping's above ground on the tube line, and that's his terminus now, sort of thing. So when you sit on the train, when you're coming into Epping Station, you'll see like the old-fashioned BR signal box.
Oh yeah.
They can't take it down because it's part of the whole thing, right? And in the front foreyard and the front, they've got the first original tube train, 1920 something tube train that they've obviously done up, volunteering work, done it up, and it sits just outside the signalling box, and it's like a museum now. So obviously I took my boy next year, so obviously they showed him about all the old-fashioned levers and all the push buttons and how it used to be, both between BR and when the London Underground owned it before they basically gave it up, like, you know. So that's interesting. And then the railway thing, which is another good thing, which is on to what you're saying about up near your way, is basically they've got old like BR diesels, steam trains, obviously a couple of old underground stuff, because you can remember that old underground trains used to run up there as well when it was part of the underground as well. So, and they have open days and like you say about the so yeah, so I'm probably thinking is to start like that kind of journey, perhaps to revisit that locally first and then
spread it further.
Yeah, add it on, because I know up and down the country you've probably got all these things and all that. But I just got to say though, guys, as you know, I've done a review of Liverpool Street Station in central London, right? And obviously I had a chat with Jassy about it when we let up off camera, because we're doing the stations around town, and then we've anything around the area to do with the station, and then we'll go and do the Wetherspoon thing. And I said to him, because obviously he couldn't make this occasion, but he said, look, you still want to go and do Liverpool Street Station, I'm not going to be offended, so I went, oh, thanks for that, mate. And I'm just going around filming it, keep myself to myself, and there's always one job's worth that works for the railway, right? The geezer literally followed me out the station into the street, and went, you can't film here, blah, 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 blah. And I went, but mate, I was using this camera. He called it a tripod camera. I was holding it in my hand with no tripod to it. I'm thinking tripod cameras is these wacky big things, and he's like reading the right acts and all that. So I thought, I ain't got time for this. I went, alright mate. I didn't want to argue, because he had a camera on his thing as well, and I thought, alright, I mean. So anyway, because what I wanted to do was, and I will go back to it, guys, obviously I hope you guys got a day off or something, because upstairs, because like National Rail celebrating 200 years of the railway, and on the upper concourse at Liverpool Street Station, they've actually got a museum like thing. So you can go in there and talk about the age of steam, how it started, and all the way around to current day, like, and how Liverpool Street Station and the other terminuses in London were built. A bit of history, like, But unfortunately, when I went to go and do that, this guy popped out of nowhere, so I had to finish my blog outside in the street, like in the station, like. But obviously, as you guys will see on my vlog, I AI'd it on Google about it, and they said no, you can. But providing you let a member of National Rail staff know that you're there, you're a YouTuber, and that's your purpose of what you're doing.
Yes.
But this guy was adamant it didn't matter what camera it was. You weren't videoing on my station.
You're not doing it.
Yeah. And I thought, alright, whatever. So so obviously I was in liaison with Jesse, obviously messaging him. I was editing. I said, should I put him on my camera screen, or should I put something over to blank him? He said, no. He said, don't show him, because I didn't mean to catch him, but he caught me by surprise. So, so he said, no, he said, blur him out or whatever, don't, because he can have you thingies for that on YouTube. So I went, okay. So that's what I done. I used that ARF thing. I literally, for the length of that, he was on my camera. You can even talking in the background, this guy. I literally just covered the whole thing to a piece, to make sure that everyone could read it, you know what I mean? So like, in case they get in any trouble, if they want to go videoing at their local station, or, you know what I mean? But yeah, so you live and learn, obviously.
Yeah.
But Jesse said to me, don't worry, he goes, I've had it multiple times when I've done this sort of video, because I just go back in and wait till you've gone and just carry on. I said, trust me, I said I couldn't. The guy literally was watching me. So I could walk back in the station until I put my camera away back in my rucksack, you know what I mean? It's like, what a pain, like. But that's one of the stories, so.
It happens.
It happens. Did you walk into a situation where you filmed me thought he was innocent, and then someone approached you and said, oh, so you can't film here, sort of thing, or?
I've done that before in hotels. You can't even, that's the thing, you can't even get a drink there.
Oh, in the Columbus, yeah.
Yeah.
My mate Terry here basically wanted to meet us poolside, because obviously he knows I was chilling out, so we can do our little collaboration as well, and a catch up as well. And I came down, he explained the situation, And I said, well, hang on a minute, I've got my armband here to say that I'm staying at the Columbus. You know, you're one of my mates and you'll be my guest. Went up to the pretty young señorita behind the desk and all that, and I explained the situation, and then she said something about, was it because it had to be people staying there only, whether it's in the apartment or the hotel part?
Yeah, but that's serve your drinks, even if you pay for them. In fact, you can't pay for them unless you put it on the wristband.
Yeah. So that's an unfortunate thing. That's the unfortunate thing, guys, to take on board if you're staying in one hotel. And I'm guessing that, say you've got like a massive gathering of people coming out with you, and you all can't stay in the same hotel, and say you're half are there, and half are, I don't know, like at the 12th example, when they all want to meet up there. What they're saying is well, we don't care, you come together in a group, we don't know if you're telling us the truth really, you could be saying that. I mean, I get their logic on the security side, they're trying to keep it safe for all, but then you get to that boundary, don't you? You get to that limit.
I think we're back to Jobsworth, because I might have been there with you thinking, like, you know what, this is a nice place to stay.
Yeah.
So we haven't just lost a drink, we've lost potential. Yeah, you know, a potential sort of booking.
Yes.
But okay, they're lost.
Yeah. But they're saying that, I'm not sure if it's this hotel or another hotel down the front where I was watching Night Strider one evening, and I think he went to go review one of these hotels around this area for us, like, you know what I mean? And the guy, he just put his foot in the door, and the guy behind the desk went out. He's like, but I'm a resident, mate, I live over here. No, out. And I was in Spanish, out. So, and then he said, alright, he said, well, fair enough. He said, well, guys, I can't tell you what it's like, because as you just heard, I can't do it. Yeah, so again, someone like, you know, like the Strider, again, like that Marshall and all that, who got a more of a superficial, you can't even imagine the numbers, if you know what I mean, of people,
I know.
right? They've just turned down, for example, like over 100k of subscribers to see what it's like, because everyone could go online and look at a picture.
Yeah.
Everyone go or go in the travel agents and pick up brochure. But the guy was not saying to the hotel, well, I've come in, I'm going to charge you £100 just to look around your hotel to tell my subscribers. He was doing it for free.
I think the walkthroughs of the hotels is the right thing to do, unannounced. And I always word it as like, what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
I don't like where they book prepaid viewings.
Yeah.
Because then you're biased to like say, no, it's good this, it's good that, but it might not be.
Yeah, so I can expect to turning up and unannounced sort of thing.
Yes. And I think that's how it ought to be.
And I know more about inspectors doing my job.
Yeah.
These people just walk in unannounced, and they'll check to make sure that our logbooks are done properly, like the bread weight's been done, it's
Overcooked.
Yeah, everything, they check everything. And the thing is, obviously, sometimes that we'll get told, oh, they're at another store, which is probably like about 2 miles down the road, for example. So you know that they're in your region, so that they can come any time.
Yeah.
But it's been known other times, we're not expecting them, and then these people turn up in the white coats and the thingy hat and everything else with a clipboard, and it's like, oh, you're here then. But as I've always said, like in everything in life, if you're doing your job right and you're doing it well, what are you punishing for?
Yeah, I would imagine cooking bread's difficult because water is weight.
Yeah.
And if you overcook, you're underweight. But I think there's a way around that. You can correct me on this one.
Yeah,
this might be political. Slice it.
Yeah.
And then it changes it.
Yeah, it changes it again. Yeah, it's true. So obviously we have to basically, when we're doing it from the raw end, I know we're going off target on it on the.
Well, no, it's still an interesting topic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true.
People go to supermarkets every day.
Yeah, it's true. So basically, where we start with like the raw dough, we've learnt that it's better to overweight it on the beginning end. So by the time it's processed through for us to shape it into what it's meant to be, and then by the time it's gone through the prover and been baked, because it's evaporating, so it's losing a little bit of weight in the prover,
course it is.
And then by the time it's gone through oven, done its time in the oven, like half hour on average sort of thing, you know, and it's come back out, it's probably lost even more weight. So by the time it actually hits the scale piping hot,
Yeah.
say like on average like a 950 loaf, yeah, we've got to weigh it at around like over a kilo.
So that's a 26 slice loaf for taking.
Yeah, 26 like loaves for every, yeah, 'cause you get,
Yeah, it's about 26 slices, isn't it?
yeah, and like for a bag of flour, it's about 12 like loaves of large loaves.
Do you want to tell them what a prover is?
Hey,
Do you want to tell them what a prover is?
Oh yes, because they don't know. Basically, all the proofer is just like a cupboard door, if you will, next to the oven, and you've got two doors, beginning and end. We put basically the raw stuff, like the raw bread, into prover. Obviously, if it's a design bread, we've got our bakery knife, we decorate it to standards and all that, you know. Put it in prover. It has to sit in there for a considerable amount of time. Obviously, in the winter, it'll take a bit longer because it's cold outside. It's, you know, in the summer. Sometimes it's been known that in the summer,
Rapid.
it's
It's rapid.
you know. And then once it's ready,
So
then
it makes the bread rise.
it makes the bread rise up because of the
Okay.
yeast in it, yeah.
Yeah.
And then once it's risen up, then it's ready for us to put into oven. And then obviously because they're like deep deck ovens, right? So we've got like this long pole with it. We call it like a spatula basically, like with a long handle.
Like a piece of it.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously you have to put the first lot at the front, get that push it to the back, because it only holds like 8 trays per oven. And we've got 4 of them. You don't mind the top, next top, and in the middle, but there's one right at the bottom. And sometimes it's like you don't need to go to the gym, you just get down to the bottom. But that's when we're super busy that we use the bottom ones, you know what I mean, on the weekend, as you can imagine in retail. But yeah, and obviously that's to do with the bread. And obviously in the door oven, we do things like, you know, you open the door and you push it in and it's got like a spinny thing. And when you push it in, it clicks, so it lifts the wheels off the floor and then it rotates.
Yeah, so the eyes.
There's like an equal bake around the whole thing. And we use that for obviously like the baguettes, the crusty rolls, and obviously pastries and things like that. So yeah, so it's interesting stuff, guys. You know, at the end of the day. So that's part of the bakery. Really, I can really tell you.
So no empty talents.
No, my talent basically, and I've done the job for about 26 years now.
Yeah.
So I started when about 21, something like that, 2021. So yeah, and I've seen a lot of changes as well, but that's time for another story. We won't get political on this channel, okay guys? It's, you know.
So what's your plans for the rest of the week?
Like I said, we got here Sunday night.
Yeah.
Obviously, working area with friends that they both here last night.
Good flight.
Oh no, yeah, the flight was very, very smooth.
EAS at the airport, yes or no?
Right, now this is the controversial thing that we're all being told, guys, yeah? Even the cabin crew on the plane, right? But as we're coming into land, a member of the stewardess team turned around and said, the EES system is now up and running. Please be ready to have your finger and what you got to do, handprints and all that. So we don't know no different. We're sitting on this flying tin box until we get it, like, you know what I mean? So we land. Thankfully, we're the first off the plane, sitting at the front, like, you know. Gets down now, and it's like it's not even turned on. It's all the system where you just put passport on, it's got a camera, it lets you through, and then you still got to go to a regular local policeman that stamps you in.
Smiler.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh dear me, they look at you and go, "Hola."
Who are you?
You know, and they go, "Laugh." Hi, you know, I take it you want to go home then, mate. You've had a long day. But yeah, but as I was saying to Terence again off of the video, we normally come over and we get a taxi from the airport, or one of our Canary friends that come and pick us up, and one of their big people with a car, you know. But we thought, no, we'd do the whole package thing this time. We realised, well, we started doing a taxi or whatever, because that's the longest part of the journey, I reckon. Everything else, when it goes smooth, of course, is then you're sitting on that coach, like we respect it, you know, the flights are coming in from the north of England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and, you know, it's such like. But, yeah, I mean, you're sitting there, you're sitting in clothes that you're coming from your own country because it's colder, he's sitting there starting to cook, thinking, can I please now just get to my hotel so I can get changed into shorts or something to cool down? But, I mean, I can't complain about Jet2, but like you say, it depends on the day or when you're travelling, depends on...
Yeah, what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Just want to say something about the buses, Phil. This cropped up on Tim's channel the other day.
Yeah, go on.
And I tried to correct him, and I think he thought I was wrong. When the bus from the airport, number 40, drops you off at Los Cristianos, it drops you off at the stop P9, which is the top side of the Apollo Centre. When you take the airport bus back, number 40, you used to catch it at bus stop number 2, which is the second one up from the rank, just below the information desk. It does not go to the airport from there anymore. It picks people up at the same stop as what it drops them off from the airport, which is that P9 at top of the Apollo Centre. Don't go down to that bus stop number 2. You will not catch the bus to the airport from there.
Good information.
You put it back on.
Yeah. Oh.
Tim was saying that it was always gone at top stop.
Yeah.
Bus stop number 2.
But obviously, you live and learn and all.
Scotsman missed the bus
Oh, did
because
he?
he was waiting at the wrong stop.
Oh no.
We were waiting at bus stop number 2. He missed the bus. Had to get a taxi to the airport. I think, well, I had to call him Kevin the Scotsman, I didn't.
Yeah.
I think he had to pay 26, 27 euros to the bus, to the airport, as opposed to 20 minutes.
Oh wow.
It's a bad mistake,
Yeah. And that's a costly one if you miss your flight.
very much so.
Oh dear. I mean, especially if you want it on the day. That £30 flight that we were talking about, easy treble. Easily.
Going back to that EAS again,
Yeah.
it's going to be coming live in Tenerife on the 12th,
Which is next Thursday.
next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Now, the question that nobody can answer is, are they just going to do the people coming in for a couple of weeks, not the people going out, simply because they've no records of how long they've actually stayed, and then start it up for both in and out, maybe after a couple of weeks when they've got used to the system. If anybody's over here after the 12th, let us know. Make a comment.
Yeah, let us know, yeah, please do, because obviously it's so confusing. Oh, it is.
Yeah, nobody's got the answer.
No. And do you know what? As the old saying goes, manana, as we know, right? And guys, it is. So if it's like that with the EES,
Yeah.
well, the FTS is probably going to be delayed even more, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, it's a worry because it's telling you, I mean, how can I put it to you? It's not fruited out, ready, right? The idea started off at €7. It's not up and running. It's already jumped to €20.
But it's not a visa.
Yeah,
That's what they say. It's not a visa, but it is.
it is a visa. It's like America, but you're going to Europe areas. That's all it is.
You can dress it up in terminology, whatever you want. It's
It's
still a
it's a
visa.
visa. Yeah.
What did they say? There's a saying. If it barks like a dog, looks like a dog, it's a dog.
Therefore, it's a dog. Yeah. That's very true. Very true. But yeah, so and that's what I'm saying though. They can't apparently have the ETS up and running until the EES is fully running.
That's right.
So they're talking about last quarter of next year is when ETS is coming in. I can't see that until at least 2027. And then some maybe. You know, because obviously especially the Canary Islands, they're more laid back than the mainland. You know?
All Spanish.
Well, most of Spanish, but I mean, I think here they are more chillax. And I'm saying it in a good way. Alright guys, I'm not blaspheming Canary Islands whatsoever.
To be fair,
You know.
it is a good way because I think we live high pressure lives,
Yeah, we do.
and I think over here it's more relaxed.
Yes.
I think it's how can I put it? In fact, work-life balance used to be, but is no longer back in the UK.
Oh yeah, at home it's just stress.
Yeah. Everybody's wanting more out of you.
Yeah. And then you get home and you just have to feel crap.
Yeah. There's no left.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I won't go too far because obviously this is going on social media, but obviously even in my job line that I do, it's a high pressure job. And then when you know that you only got so many people working with you, compared to, again, I'm not going to go into it, guys, because obviously,
Well, everybody's in the same situation, so they know where you're coming from.
So, so then when you know you've got a holiday coming up, or a vacation, or wherever you guys want to call it out, wherever you're from in the world, because I've got a few people across the pond and that. You just want to get here and chill out. I mean, this is my part of my chilling out, doing vlogging, me and with guys like yourself and Tim and interviewing and then obviously apart from then obviously I'm going to want to go and chill on the beach and go in the sea and do the other normal stuff like go around the pool, sunbathe, jump in the pool.
That's right.
And just basically take your time.
Yeah.
Whereas like you say, the moment that once you touch down back in old Blighty, that's it. The stress levels that were gone.
Instant.
Yeah, because you're walking back into every day back to normal life back in the UK,
I've had situations like that. Then you go back to your job, not trying to be too political, and you think like, well, why am I actually doing this?
Yeah.
It might sound daft because is there more out there? We know the answer to that as well.
Yeah. Again, that's on another channel, not ours.
Yeah.
But no, it's the kind of things when you've got more time to think.
Yeah.
And that's when you're chilling.
Well, that's right.
And obviously, as you probably know, obviously, apart from juggling work, obviously my 2 days off, obviously, helping out the other half with like housework and, make sure the kids are doing what they need to be doing at various ages and all that, and it's all part of the everyday life pressure, so to speak, make sure that everything says it should be inside and outside work, and that's what it's all about. So when people say, oh, why are you going away? Well, we're going away to de-stress, because if you don't, I don't like to think basically about it, but it's not good.
I think when you do vlogging and stuff like that, which is totally different alien to what you do
on a daily basis,
it's good, because it's no longer a job, it's an hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
And you enjoy it.
Yeah, so you're not going to be stressed about it, so you're just doing what you do when you can do it, sort of thing.
That's right.
So
and everybody gets something out of this, because it's like when you go around, I mean, you do similar to me, where you go down and you look down these bars or these alleyways or these hidden gems, hotels, something like that. People can relate, well, I've actually been there, or I'm thinking of going there, which is another one.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're right, a brochure is flat. It's just a 2D picture, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas this, if you walk into an hotel on
they can actually see 360 what's going on. Yeah.
That makes the job worthwhile.
Absolutely, 100%. It's like when I come back from Tim, obviously I've done a vlog walking back from the coast up to near the hotel, finished there, and then walked up, obviously got a picture of the hotel across the road, so it's the best way to try and get the whole building in,
Apart from palm trees.
Yeah, but they're actually affected here on Broadway.
Oh, cinematic.
Yeah. And that, and then obviously, again, thank you Jesse for this tip, right? He said to me, so you don't get yourself being stood, have this camera at an angle, so it's still like near you, but you've got the camera facing, and then that way, people around you, especially like the hotelier people, ain't got a clue what you're doing. They think, oh, okay, yeah, say he's got the armband, they leave you alone.
Yes.
Yeah. I can guarantee you, if I walked in that angle with this camera, I'm not saying they would, but one of them might go, what are you doing, mate?
What are you doing?
Yeah. And I'm not there to cause harm, I'm just there to show where I'm staying.
Yeah.
So that, to guide with that, they might want to...
To be fair, you're entitled to do that, because you're going to get somebody who wants to put something on TikTok who's going to go in there with the phone, and if you're going to do exactly the same, okay, you might get somebody doing whatever.
All that funny dancing business on TikTok.
Nevertheless, it's the same.
Yeah. It's just that this is more in depth because we're putting it together as a proper decent vlog for people to look at.
Yes.
So, and by the way, put to know guys, apparently there is another pool round now. We asked our hotel staff because I couldn't find it from our video. It's a case of basically, I know you can come right in unfortunately, but basically when you go through, obviously you got, as you know, the two blocks. So obviously
Yeah.
the block this side is your apartments, and then the block the other side is the hotel side of it.
Yeah.
And in the middle, like the forecourt, if you will, is you got like two big pools, a jacuzzi thing in the middle,
Yeah.
and then that bubby pool at the end,
Yes.
right? And then apparently tucked out of the way is an alpha on. I couldn't for the life of me see it, so
It's raised up.
raised up around the corner apparently. Yeah. So, but my friend that's staying with us, he said he went for a little walk around. I think he was around the hotel, and he said he started to shout about it. It was like a little paddling pool, jump in, jump out.
Yeah. Punch bowl.
Yeah. So yeah, but no, to say it's very nice, and obviously because we're literally on the top floor.
Yeah.
Obviously facing street side, so that's how one pictures I've got. I've got the right angle, sitting on a chair on the balcony, and I'm like, because you tilt that to the left, so you got like the whole bit of that, and you can see the whole sea and everything.
Yeah.
And I thought that's a good thumbnail. That is,
It is.
you know. And that, but I noticed there's six floors, 5 floors for us lot, and I think the top floor must be for like the staff or whoever. So you know, what I mean, so that's interesting little facts for you to put in at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, the apartments, if you do self-coating now, obviously it's all this key card business now, you know. And then like you walk into the room, obviously guys, you'll see this in my vlog, I'm just explaining to Tessie, right? Basically you walk into the room, and then basically on the right hand side, obviously you've got your bathroom straight away. And then open space, you've got like a miniature kitchenette.
Yeah.
Then obviously you've got like not that you're going to cook or use a microwave, but I suppose it's there for the taking, like, you know. You've got a kettle, toaster, so you can do yourself a cup of tea or whatever, you know, toast and all that. And then obviously you've got your main room, very spacious room, really, to be fair.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got a massive balcony with comfy chairs and a big fat table. With how big the balcony is. The only issue that I'd probably say is, I know you don't really get the rain, so when it comes, if you know what I mean, you know. It's because we're on the top floor, we ain't got a roof over the balcony.
Have you got aircon?
Yeah,
See, not all those used to have aircon.
yeah, so it's been upgraded.
Did you have to pay for it?
Quite a part of the package. Yeah.
See, that was something else. The rooms which had aircon, you used to have to pay for that as well.
Well, yeah, I think they realised everyone was on the same boat, so to speak.
No.
No? Oh my God, really?
I think it might depend on which company's actually built it, because I suspect that you're going to get tour operators saying we'll have that many rooms as block booking. And I think it's whatever they pay, they're the
Whatever
top.
room you get, like, isn't it? That's interesting fact to know, right?
Yeah, I know, terrible.
I don't know what we're complaining about the flyers for. I'd rather that than the cold.
Well, it's actually raining in the UK where we are.
Yeah, it was when we left on Sunday.
Yeah.
I was looking at the weather and I woke up and I thought, please don't rain when I'm taking off in the aeroplane. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to get much of a takeoff footage, you know what I mean? Because when I vlog, obviously I like to do the travel day here and back, and I like to get footage and all that. Obviously, because we didn't land till 7 o'clock in the evening, it's getting dark. So I just about caught the sunset as we were coming back to start descending.
Yeah.
And obviously then it went dark, and he had all the lights on the island as you're coming over the island, like to land light. But yeah. So and then unfortunately we sat on the right side. You saw most of the island on the left side.
Yeah, it depends. If it's right windy, they do that to land the way.
Go off the way round.
But it's pretty bad.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually managed in our airport to film duty free this time.
I know I moaned at you.
They stopped me from doing it before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're not allowed to do it. It's like, why do you have to show prices?
Yeah, but the prices nowadays ain't like duty free years ago. No way.
No.
You know? Oh, I'm not saying it's expensive, but you know, if you're going to go away nowadays, guys, just actually go away because you're enjoying where you're going to go on holiday, because
Yes.
the prices are not, you know, but it's what it is.
You see, that's something else as well. I mean, I don't smoke, but
I don't.
if you're going to get duty-free tobacco, it needs to be a reputable, proper
Right.
place.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to Turkey, oh no, You don't trust that because you're going to get wood shavings and whatever.
Snipes, yeah. I've heard stories about that. So, but I only went Turkey donkey years ago with an ex-missus, like, you know, all inclusive and all that. But I must admit though, their markets are pretty good. We jumped on this tin pot little bus. It cost something stupid like 20 pence in our money.
Dumbo.
Yeah. And you get, I mean, obviously you know they're fake, but how can I put it to you? The Levi jeans, for example, they actually look like Levi jeans, but you knew deep down they weren't Levi jeans, you know.
But here's something else as well. I think they're better quality than your Temu, your Chinese stuff.
That's true.
They're both fake, but one's a better fake.
Yeah, which one's going to hit? And the best thing about Turkey, from what I remember, was, and you're probably, I don't know if you agree or disagree, is if you went to these markets, you haggle them.
Yes.
So they give you like this price is probably like saying that you buy Bond Street in London, right?
Yeah.
And then they know you're not stupid. They know they want to sell. So say for I don't know, they want to charge you £100 for a pair of jeans, right? You know that's not the price, right? By the end of it, you've probably only paid a tenner, if not that. You know.
The good thing about Turkey is if you go the last week before it starts to close down, because it's only like a 6-month holiday.
Yeah.
The last week when it's closing down, there's the bargains.
Yeah, to get rid of it all.
They're wanting to get rid of it. So my advice would be is go with an empty suitcase.
Yeah. Don't pay no clothes. To make sure obviously you got your boxes or whatever, you know what I mean? But apart from that, yeah, leave it empty.
Yeah.
Feel like New York in it years ago, pay people with an empty suitcase and then come back.
Come back, yeah.
So if you imagine when you're checking out this end, you've only got about 2 kilos of weight, and that's just a suitcase, so.
Just changing subject a little. Where I fly from, or flew from this time as East Base, they've got these 3D scanners. Do you have them where you go?
Wait, basically, you put it through and don't have to take everything out. Yeah.
They always take stuff out of my bag.
Oh no, really?
Always.
And if you're like me, you've got a lot of electrical equipment and
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But they always target one thing, and it's one of those little aerosols of shawl.
Yeah.
It's always the shawl which they target. Now I'm beginning to wonder, is something wrong with some of this shawl?
Yeah, just don't get the shawl, just try links or something
Yeah,
like
pick
that.
something different.
Yeah, you might be alright, guys, you know.
Oh, we'll just swap the bag as well. Yeah, get on with it.
That's mad, isn't it? Well, thankfully, because we've obviously brought our case, obviously we put our wash bag in the suitcase, so you can bring your normal stuff with you.
Yeah.
But I know when we went to recording, basically it's like but when we went to Benidorm, as I said to you off camera, basically it was only for about 4 or 5 days. It was the first time going there, so we didn't need a suitcase, but you can only have small bottles of this and small bottles of that, and like a dinky little see-through like wash bag so they can see it as well. Well, unfortunately for my dad, he uses like this print-through skin on his legs, right? And now the thing is, the way he thought, which is logical thinking, yes, okay, the bottle was more than what they said you could carry in your hand baggage, yeah? But the amount in the bottle was right. Now, this woman and security, I won't name names because I don't do that game, right? With security at Southend Airport, she went, you know what the limit is, sir, blah, 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 blah. And I can see my dad's logic, what he's saying back to this young lady, right? He said, but, yes, that's the size of the bottle, but the contents in it is probably even under what you're saying that I could take with me in my hand baggage. She went at it. She goes, well, sorry, but we're going to have to confiscate it from you. So then my poor dad had to go and then pay airport prices at WH Smith's on the other side to basically go and get another bottle that he could take with him. And that bottle was probably more than the size bottle that he originally had after his skin light, you know. So just be careful out there, guys, that the smaller airport is not always the answer because they're going to be more stricter because obviously it's all close together, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is what it is, but just be careful. But the only thing I don't like is, I know that you can't take your bottle to drink through from this end. They expect you to chuck it in because they want you to buy the drinks at the airport. It's all, you know, right? Spend more than you have to, .com, you know. But the thing is, it's a shame because things like, I'd love to take home some of this aquarium stuff. It's a nice drink.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not too keen on the plain one, but the orange one is really, really nice. And that's a hangover cure, by the way, guys, right? Because it's got all the minerals in it to put back that you've lost, sort of something. And I swear by it. They're really nice. But unfortunately one day I think, yeah, last year we were going back in there, and I still had a full bottle, but obviously I didn't really fancy drinking it at the time. I thought, that's alright, I could take it on the plane with me. No, they stopped me, said no. And it's a whole bottle. I was like, oh, come on. But they didn't have that Aquarius in the shops through the other side of the airport. So it's a shame really, because I found out, I think, was it Tinky Dow that said it? I think it was. Apparently that was introduced for the Spanish Olympics.
Yeah.
So only Spain and the Canaries and the Balearics have that drink.
Limited edition.
Yeah, you can't get it anywhere else in Europe or the UK, like, you know what I mean? It's a shame that if they marketed that at home, I'd stock it up, mate, in the fridge, I'm telling you, seriously. But,
Can't.
no.
No, this goes in suitcase.
Aha.
And it holds.
That's true.
If it's in the old, you go away with it.
Yeah. There you go.
It's hand luggage.
This has just given me an idea, folks. It might just work. I'm not going to say it all, but it might just work.
It will work.
Yeah, because we won't know about it until you get home.
Yeah, well, because it's not regulated, because you haven't got access to it.
And that's what it's about,
That's
isn't
what it's about.
it? Yeah. So anyway, oh gosh. 40 odd minutes. Okay, cool. Okay, well, any final words from yourself, Jack?
No, I'd like to think like if people enjoy the island, you know, there is good areas, there are some not so good areas, but let's be fair, if you class Veronica's as not such a good area, we're talking of a minuscule bit of the island.
Bit of strip, yeah, that's it.
It doesn't matter,
No.
you know what I mean? You don't have to go there, so get yourself over here, enjoy the sun, there are some cheap flights. And I'm going to say it, what I'm saying is, what's not to like?
What's not to like? I agree with you, Ted. 100% guys. This is an all year island, guaranteed weather. I get that rare day where it might rain, but other than that, it's mostly sunshine all the way.
That's right.
So yeah, so cheap is chips.
And it's vitamin D, isn't it?
Yeah, vitamin D. Yeah. Don't need no tablets over here for it, mate. You just get it naturally.
Get it out in the sun.
Exactly, 100%. And guys, I appreciate, obviously, if there's like families watching this, obviously they've got a budget, and obviously I respect that they're going to go to an all-inclusive because if it's their budget, I'll get that. But if you're like, if you can, or you're a couple, just book a half-full hotel or even an apartment maybe, and then eat out. It's cheaper.
The thing is something for everybody's budget.
Exactly.
Now you can spend £20 for a room. In fact, there's an hotel in Del Duchy which is £7,500 a week. I can't justify that.
Yeah.
There might be people out there who think, well, that's fine. But you know what? You don't have to spend that money to enjoy all the sun.
No, exactly that point. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you've got young kiddies, all inclusive with facilities, slides, and whatever, you can't beat it.
Exactly, because they're going to get their ice creams, their
You've got to get your money.
Yeah, yeah. You know, but if your kids are old enough, for example, and I'm talking about like probably like teenage children above, not little kids. You know.
Then it's bed and breakfast.
Bed and breakfast,
Or self-catering.
or self-catering, yeah, and they just eat up. Because there is actually places still around here that actually do like a set menu.
Yeah.
And I know people think, well, hang on a minute, but then it's going to be thingy faulty. Hey, I've had it, and you actually get a nice size starter,
Yeah.
a blooming decent size main,
Yeah.
and then a nice little dessert at the end. Because it's hot, you're not going to want to eat like thoroughly amounts of food on a plate. Do you know what I mean? And guys, seriously, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I looked at the prices this time. I'm guessing not much has changed in that way, but I think down the front there's a restaurant and it's like €13 and you literally get a 3-course meal, obviously not including the drink.
That's right.
And then obviously then you're paying a couple of euro maybe for your drink on top. How bad is that?
I mean, down here across the other side of the road in front of that Colon 2 sign is a restaurant, I think it's called Pompeii.
Yeah.
$2.95 for an English breakfast, and I'll tell you what, it's one of the best English breakfasts you're going to get. And what's that? It's going to be about $2.40, I suppose, $2.30 back home. You can't buy the products and cook it for that.
No, exactly. I mean, a typical Weatherspoon is like 8, 9 quid I think now for a full English. So yes, You buy like 3 of them. You
Yeah,
know what I
and
mean?
you sat down and somebody waiting on you.
Yeah, and the glorious
And you're not
sunshine.
washing pots. Win-win.
Exactly. So yeah, so there you go, guys. That's pretty much it. As always, don't forget to subscribe to this guy, Tenerife Tez. You'll know him by now, and if you don't, you should do.
Yeah.
Basically, the nicest way possible, guys.
Yeah.
And that is he gone that way. Yeah, that's good thing. So I better wrap it up.
Yeah.
So subscribe to old Tenerife Tez here, bless him. Good guy and all that. And so obviously please subscribe to me as well, of course. Press that like, subscribe, and all that brigadier.
And hit the notifications.
Oh, and hit the notification bell so you know what I'm doing and my channel. Obviously hit the notification bell on this guy's channel so you know what he's doing. And as I always say, oh, what the hell?
I think it's because you're about to eat.
Oh, my thumb's in the way. Right guys, obviously because of the extensive heat out here at the moment, 29-30 degrees, my pocket fridge decided to
Flip a wobbly.
have a flip a wobbly, yes. So just going to wrap it up here now on the iPhone, so the iPhone don't do the same thing. Because obviously the sun's coming this way, isn't it? So alright guys, what I'll say, this is Tenerife Tez. Please subscribe to him, please subscribe to me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button both on his channel, my channel. And as I always say, until the next time guys.
Hit the notifications.
Oh, and hit the notifications. Thanks for reminding me, Ted.
There you go.
Okay, and as I say, and until the next time guys, crack on. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.